Should we pull in more tables?
Yes.
This pizza's just as nice as fish and chips.
They put ketchup on everything.
Matey!
What do you think?
It's not about the frame, it's about what you put inside of it. A picture of our new family.
Sure you want to keep doing this?
I wouldn't change it for the world.
Welcome to Cohen in the City, the Suburban On Air. And you know I love watching TV, and I've got it my attention now on two new series, very, very unique. On April 19th, two comedy series will begin on Super Channel, Heart and Home, and in Canada, and it's BYU TV in the States. Also, you can get it on Amazon Prime. So there's a lot of opportunity to watch this great shows. The Parker Andersons is about a mixed race blended family, and Amelia Parker is about the quietest member of the family. And joining me today is Millie Davis, who plays Amelia Parker. Hello, Millie.
Hi.
All right. Kate Hewlett, who plays Mom Cleo Parker. Hi, Kate.
The loudest part of the family.
That's it. And you've got another member of your family walking back and forth, Enzo.
Yes.
So let's see if he joins us. And I love cats.
Yeah.
So Enzo's welcome throughout the video.
Thank
and
you.
Charlie Zeltzer, whose dad, Mitch, is from Montreal. Charlie plays Charlie Anderson, and a real scene stealer. Welcome, Charlie.
Hi.
Great to have you. I really love the shows. I was hooked. We're going to include the trailer in this video. I think a lot are going to watch this show. It's just a feel-good show. Kate, why don't you tell us the premise of the show to get us going?
Sure. So basically it's two series, but the Parker Andersons is told more from the adult perspective, and Amelia Parker is told more from her perspective, which is really interesting because you get to see different versions of the story. And it's a show about a merged, blended family. So Tony Parker falls in love with Cleo Anderson. We live in Chicago, they live in England, and we all come together and we all live together like a modern day Brady Bunch.
Very well put. I love that. I love that Brady Bunch link because I missed that show.
Yeah.
Now, Amelia Parker is a very interesting character because she does not speak. Now, of course, I've only watched the first few episodes. And when before we went on, Millie's earphones weren't working. I said, oh my gosh, she's going to do the whole interview through sign language. Millie, what's it like playing a character like that?
Yeah, I mean, it was super interesting to play Amelia because in the Parker Andersons, I wouldn't speak at all. So I'd sort of have to stay engaged through like my facial expressions and not zoning out in the middle of the scene. But then in Amelia Parker, I had a lot more to say, which was super interesting to sort of play both parts of speaking and not speaking.
Well, you do a great job. I can tell you that's for sure. Now, Charlie, you're the youngest member of the cast. How are you enjoying being part of this show?
It's super fun. Like, I've always had fun with acting, but this is definitely like the most fun thing I've ever done. I got a call from my agent, and then 2 minutes later, I'm jumping up and down and up and down.
And how did you arrange? Was part of your contract that you get to keep your real name as your character?
Nope, that was how the audition was.
Really? So it must be easier on the actor because they're calling Charlie. You get confused, right? So everyone's calling you Charlie and Charlie.
Yeah, pretty much.
That works pretty good. I think, Kate, one of the great things about this show is it also sends a message of tolerance to everyone out there. We know all the issues that are going on in society, and we see the acceptance and the beauty of a blended family like this.
Yeah. We had a really, truly amazing showrunner, Anthony Farrell. This is Enzo, everybody.
I love Enzo.
That's Enzo's butt. Welcome, Enzo. Perfect timing, Enzo.
I love cats.
Just as things get serious. Great. So the showrunner just was so incredible and put together a room, an entirely BIPOC room for this show so that the experiences and the scripts would feel authentic. And there was a lot of dialogue surrounding all of it on set, and I certainly learned a lot. I thought I knew, but I didn't, and it was an incredible experience, actually.
Millie, there is something called selective mutism. It's something I've written about many times in my articles and in a special needs newspaper. Did you do any research into that? Because there's many people who have that situation where they won't talk, they refuse to talk.
Yeah, exactly. Anthony actually sent me, our showrunner, he sent me some documentaries about children who are selectively mute. So I got to watch some of those and really learn more about it because I didn't really know a lot going into filming the show. So I think that was super great that I was able to like educate myself more.
Yeah, I think it's an eye opener for the viewers as well. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, do you really think a kid could go through high school and not talk? Just get through class and not talk?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It is. Now, Charlie, you seem to have a lot of fun playing with your TV dad. Rogan is a mall security guard, and you guys are a blast to watch together. How much fun are you having with him?
He's great. I learned all my improv from him. He's really funny. Like, you'll look at things and be like, how was that improvised? Yeah.
And Charlie, let me ask you, what's it like with your TV family? How close have you gotten with them over the last few months?
Very close. Like at the start, it was a bit awkward. And then like after 2 or 3 days, it got really cool. Yeah, and fun.
Now, Kate, you've been in you've got a great history in terms of your acting and your writing, but I know I haven't watched it in a while, but I was a big fan of Degrassi. Tell us who you played on Degrassi. When were you on it, and what role did you play?
Yeah, I actually was on it for many seasons. I at least 5 seasons, and I played Mrs. Matlin, so I was Maya Matlin's mom.
Okay, I'm trying to think who Maya Matlin is, because I remember I watched it when Drake was on. Was that the
this was after that. So this was the one. There were so many Degrassis, and I'm pregnant. I should have said that I'm pregnant, so my brain is not working very well. It's so confusing.
Yeah, it's so confusing. But
yeah,
I was a big Degrassi fan because by day I work at a school board and really found it interesting. And in fact, the girl who played Liberty.
Yeah.
I did an interview with her, and then she told me she wanted to work in communications, and I actually got her a job at one of our schools for a year, and she walked around the school and like everybody knew who she was.
Oh, of course.
It's just like as if I got Millie Davis a job at my school. Everyone would recognize her walking down the hallway. But
those kids do so well. They all do so well, and it was a really fun show to work on, and it was a lucky gig, because I had worked as a writer on the LA Complex.
Right.
And they brought me in to play this role. So it was really, really enjoyable. And Stephen Brogan. Do you know Stephen Brogan?
Oh, well, of course, he's the lifetime actor on Degrassi.
Yeah.
He's the one, the part that stays intact there.
Yeah. So, and he also directs. So he has directed Holly Hobby, and he directed the LA Complex. And so I've worked with him as a director a bunch of times now as well.
Right. You've made me want to watch it again, so I might just do it. Millie, did you watch Degrassi?
I didn't. I haven't yet, but I've heard a lot of great things about it, and I know a few of the people on there too. So.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll keep Charlie away from it. It might give him some bad ideas. So some of those kids are not so well behaved.
Yeah, seriously.
Millie, I see that you were in Orphan Black, and I did watch that show. Very, very dark. Very complicated, a very great lead actress. Who did you play in that show? How many seasons were you on for it?
Yeah, so I think I was in every season. I played Tatiana Maslany's daughter, so obviously she plays like 8 roles in that show, but the role of Sarah, I think I played her daughter.
Oh yes, the soccer player?
Yes.
I remember you. Yes, I remember you. Yeah.
With Chris Broon? With Chris Broon?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know you knew Chris. Oh my gosh, I went to Queens with him.
I'm so happy that I made this connection.
Yeah.
I remember it right now. That was one unbelievable show, which also I will tell Charlie not to watch. And it was scary, frightening, brilliant, and very confusing. I needed to go online and try to understand the episode after each, but boy, I was nervous for that. Your mom when you went to play soccer one day. Oh my gosh, and your father, and oh, what a troubled household that was.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And Charlie, you were in The Handmaid's Tale, which is something also I'd probably tell you not to watch. Who did you play in that scene?
Totally. My parents would only let me watch my scenes in that show.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Who did you play in that show, Charlie?
So I played Oliver, Emily's daughter.
Okay.
I mean,
Are you getting
son.
Emily's son. Okay, yeah, you're right. But
Emily's
you could have played Emily's daughter.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been anything wrong with that.
Sorry. Yeah, Emily's son. And I was only in the 3rd season for now.
Okay.
1 episode, 2 scenes, I think.
Well,
But it was really fun.
2 scenes gives you. Now, I want to tell you, I've been going on YouTube. You're a great singer. You love the ukulele.
Pharaoh, let us go. Pharaoh, let us go. Pharaoh, let us go. Pharaoh said, no, no, no.
How old are you now, by the way, Charlie?
I am 9 years old now.
Okay, so you're 9 years old. So how long have you been playing the ukulele for?
I honestly have no idea. I got like a toy ukulele when I was 2 or 3, I'd say.
Right.
But then after a little while, I got a plastic ukulele, and then I got a wood ukulele, and then I really learned how to play.
Okay, well, you're very good. I've been very impressed. People should go on YouTube and look up Charlie Zeltzer, and I love the Passover song you sang, and also you sang a song in French. So when you visit Montreal after the pandemic, you'll be able to go order all the meals for the family in French, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you'll be Montreal. They film a lot of movies, so I'm sure you'll be here, in the future. Let me ask each of you the most important question. Kate, the filming of, first of all, before I ask you that, Kate, you have a history in Montreal. Tell us about it.
Yes, I went to the National Theatre School from 2000 to 2003. And I lived in Montreal, and I stayed there in the summers because I was obsessed with it. And I loved it so much. I feel like that's where it's so cheesy, but I feel like that's where I kind of figured out who I was. It was like one of those cities that just, you can be whoever you want to be. And I had an incredible experience there, and I've obviously made friends that I'm still friends with today. And I wanted to stay, but at that point in time, there wasn't a lot of English film and TV shooting there, and I didn't speak French well enough to work in French.
Right. Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. So let me ask you each this question. I'll start with you, Kate. Filming started when on this show, and how did you handle COVID protocols?
Okay, I'm going to use your brains. So did we start in October, Millie and Charlie? Is that right? Yeah, we started in October. And it was the first time for me personally, it was the first time I had worked outside of the house during COVID, because I had just been writing from home. And so it was tricky. It was a little weird at first, just, you haven't seen anyone in so long. You haven't been in close contact with anyone. And then all of a sudden you have a TV family and you're sort of in a bubble together, and we were all learning as we went, but they did a really good job. We were tested once a week, and we had a COVID team, and if you were rehearsing, you had your mask on, and then when you were shooting, you took it off, and then you put it right back on again. And all sorts of little changes, like craft services weren't allowed to be on set. They had to be outside and things like that.
Okay. And Millie, how did you find it with the COVID and going to film a show like that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the same as Kate. The only place I'd really been was school, but those are in like really, really small classrooms. So I hadn't been around that many people in a really long time. So getting to set was definitely difficult at first, to be around that many people, and also to be filming at the same time was definitely a little bit stressful, but I think that everyone on set handled it really well. And I would say that the set was super safe, and we never had any COVID cases. So
that's great news. Now, Charlie, you're a 9-year-old student in Ontario. how have you been making sure that you stay safe for COVID?
Well, our school has went virtual 3 times now. First time nobody was prepared, so it was like just basically we were not at school at all.
Right.
And then we went back to school, and that's when I started filming Parker Anderson's. During Parker Anderson's, though, and Amelia Parker, actually, school went back to virtual. So then I had like 2 weeks of virtual when I wrapped, and then it came back to virtual now. Very confusing, but there was a lot of virtual school.
Don't you wish Premier Ford would make up his mind?
Don't answer that, Charlie.
No, just shake your head. That's good. Look, we're in Quebec. We wish Premier Legault would make up his mind, but it's not easy. But hopefully you'll get renewed for a second season, both shows, and you'll be able to record them in a non-pandemic world. It sounds like a great show. Will include details on how to watch in the body of the description of this video. I could talk to you all day, but I really am so excited that I had this chance to meet you, and I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. And I guess before we go, would you tell us a little bit about Enzo, Kate?
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to talk. He's ready to talk. This is Enzo Ferrari Hewlett. That's what happens when you let your Italian best friend name your cat. He's 7 years old. Yeah.
Well, I can just tell you, and I know, and Millie, you have a cat too, right?
Yeah, I do.
And he or she is hidden away right now.
Yeah, she is. She's in a room with my mom so that she doesn't meow at the door.
And Charlie, do you have any pets?
I had a dog, but she passed away recently.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
So not anymore.
Okay. Well, you never know what's going to happen in the future. Your life is just beginning, Charlie. You never know. Well, listen, thanks again. All the best. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Millie. And thank you, Enzo.
Well done, Enzo.
Great show. And everyone should tune in.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Thank
Terrific.
you.
Terrific.
Thank you.